Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Good evening. This is part of a series that I was doing on a book that I wrote called 7 Days. And 7 Days was based on the idea that I would write a story for one day, one story a day for 7 days when I first came out to the Philippines. And when I first came out there, everything was so new to me, and one of the things that just amazed me was the first time that I ever saw a ladyboy. And for those who don't know, ladyboys are men who have in their mind made the transition between being a man and a woman, and they then take on a whole new persona, and try if you can to suspend judgment and just to understand what it feels like for someone in this position. And I'm reading now, this was for, for Friday. This was the day of Friday, and it's based on a true, as I've said before, on a true experience. I actually met Ashley, and because of my amazement at how beautiful some of the ladyboys are, I wanted to meet one who would tell me about his life, and this was Ashley. So this is an excerpt from that story, in the hope that you will go out and buy the book, of course. The area of ladyboys is highly charged in the sense that it's difficult to tell that many of them are male. When they work the street, they live a dangerous life. Should they succeed in attracting the wrong kind of client into paying for sex, the man might turn violent if he feels he has been deliberately duped, and they could get seriously injured or even killed. A macho man putting his hand south of a ladyboy's waist would certainly get a shot that might spur him to violence. Men dressing as women are found worldwide, but what makes them unique in the Philippines is the degree to which they are accepted socially. Even the name ladyboy does not speak of prejudice. With the smaller Filipino build, a ladyboy makes the change from masculine to feminine with ease. I met Ashley on an Asian dating site after I had been in the Philippines for a couple of months. My introduction to this netherworld came when I was scrolling through the site and saw the picture of a stunningly beautiful woman. As a rule, women's profiles on the site would tell a lot about the person, but this profile contained this simple statement: I want to meet someone who will love me as I am. Well, that won't be hard, I thought, looking at the gorgeous face in the picture. I'm in love already. Thinking I would have no chance with such a beauty, I sent her a message saying she looked like the woman of my dreams. Her response indirectly led me to my friendship with Ashley. Sorry, I'm a ladyboy. This opened a hitherto unknown world which promised to be a rich source of material to me as a writer, and I decided if I was to learn more, I would need a guide. Ashley was another lovely face looking back from my screen, but she said up front that she was a ladyboy. I saw this as a chance to research more and see if there was a story to be found. I sent Ashley a message explaining I was a writer and asking if she would meet me and talk about her life for an article I was planning. I made it clear that our meeting was professionally motivated and that I was heterosexual and only interested in women. She understood and respected that at all times. So we were able to be friends, but as you can see, I was never able to see Ashley as anything other than a woman. Women in stores were happy to serve Ashley and very friendly and respectful. In return, Ashley was self-assured, funny and charming, always putting everyone at their ease with her humour and easy way, leaving them with smiling faces. She was fun to be with and a caring person with a good heart. Ashley always dresses as a woman. She is on hormones but has not had her already slender body physically change with surgery, though her boyfriend has offered to pay for the costly operation. I wondered if she would be willing to take this serious step, and she told me her main concern was for the risks involved in undergoing what is an extremely invasive surgical procedure. We discussed her love life only in general terms. She insisted she did not sell casual sex for money, preferring to have long-term relationships with men who had genuine feelings for her and supported her financially. Though many of the ladyboys she knew who were on the game had tried to persuade her to work the street when money got tight, she had so far resisted doing so. She was supported by one boyfriend who was at the time home in Australia, but was planning on retiring to the Philippines. She talked about them being together in the future. It seemed a serious relationship which she had hopes of becoming permanent. She says she is not homosexual, and said the Australian insists he is not homosexual. But even Ashley cannot clearly understand the distinction between someone who could care for her, a man after all, and a homosexual. It's an oversimplification to think that anyone living such a lifestyle would automatically understand what is happening to him or her. At the moment of birth, there are many cases where the doctor delivering a child will make a judgment call on the sex of the baby if the genitalia are less than clearly male or female. Though they make this call based on what they believe they see, mistakes are sometimes made which commit the child to a life of being neither male nor female in the eyes of the world they are forced to live in. The emotion and biological responses of any of us feel are extremely complex, whatever our sexual orientation. Ashley offered to take me on a tour of the Fields district, but I declined, feeling my story was with her. She later invited me to accompany her on a visit to her family home in the province. Her family photos showed a large extended family of brothers, sisters and cousins. She seemed to be the only one with the alternate lifestyle. As a guest, I would have paid the travel expenses and made some contribution once we were at the house. It's firmly rooted in the Filipino psyche that every foreigner is rich, and this would have been the accepted role of a guest. She promised that I would meet the many beautiful Filipinas in the family photos during the weekend. The trip never came to pass, as I went to Cebu instead, where I met Beth, the woman I was to marry. But that really was a true story about meeting Ashley. Ashley is a real person. She has a Facebook. He has a different life and has a different story. And sometimes we need to be able to be non-judgmental about seeing the story. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. This story was from Friday. Sorry, I'm a ladyboy. And it's from my book, 7 Days. I hope you'll buy it. It's on Amazon.com.